And a lot of times the dude will grab you in the collar tie. So if he grabs collar tie over here, I'm gonna do that. There we go. So what I'm doing on this line, kind of what he was starting off to do, we're gonna take this hand, we're gonna bring it over. This thing sometimes uses a spacer. You can bring it to kind of keep the dude off you. If he's not too tight, you can literally put that up under across his face or under his neck and kind of bring him out. But I'm gonna let this hand elbow high and this hand kind of hang. Okay? Now you could be in this stance, you could be in this stance, you could be in square stance, it doesn't really matter. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step to the outside here, and I'm gonna start really turning my head, like slightly looking away. And as I do that, my high elbow is gripping his tricep and pulling him right on by. Sliding by him, thus called the slide by. Okay, just a good way to get rid of this. There's lots of ways to get rid of this, right? You can take it off into arm drags, 2-on-1s, you name it. You have a collar tie, he has a collar tie, you're kind of equal grips. So the hand is gonna be draped across, almost like you're trying to clamp it down to your body. Elbows kind of high, okay? And one move, we're gonna take a big high step like we call dog freeze on tree and hop behind. So your leg is literally just coming in and going, boom. You can shuffle too. Shuffle, do the same thing depending on where your stance is. So if my leg is already forward, the shuffle is gonna be the thing. So I'm here, slide that by, and automatically now I have him in a claw position here, and I can let go and go to around the waist where I can stay here. If you stay here, usually this hand can go to the inside of his thigh, and I'm karate chopping that thigh, and I start spinning him in a circle. That leg is hard to follow me, which makes his base break down really easy, and then we can start looking to take his back, arm bars, or whatever. Instinctively, he's trying to do a stand-up. So, so one more time. This hand draped over his bicep. Again, it's a good spacer. When guys try to hold too tight, you go right up underneath their neck sometimes. Get your grips, okay? If I'm already back here, a lot of times you take a big step. If it's already in front, a lot of times you kind of slide a little hop. Then you come in right away with different grips. A good one is just stay right there, chop, and bring them onto the mat. So all at one time now. We're here, we're gonna play. Boom, spiraling right down. Okay, all right, 1, 2, 3. As I'm turning, my shoulder is already putting pressure on that. At the same time as I turn my head, I'm popping that off. Okay, that's kind of a real ugly explanation, but that's what's going on. Instead of me doing that, I'm pulling. Instead of pushing, I'm pulling. So my hand is coming here. So I'm turning my head, which kind of unwinds the hand, and I pull up. What a lot of you guys do, you're trying to do this. It's not a duck under. It's not that, okay? So we're literally here. As I move in, my head turns, and I pull that right off the top of my head. Just pull it off the top of your head, and you slide right in. That's what you're doing, okay? All right, 1, 2, 3. I start a match. There's a lot of hand fighting going on. You grab a collar tie, and they grab you the collar tie back. It's very common, okay? So one of the ways to do this is to take your arm over his arm. And it's a good space keeper. I can use this hand literally to go even across the space or under here like that, so it keeps him away from me if I choose to. He may be in here too tight, and we kind of bring that in like so, okay? That's not what we're doing, but that's one reason you do it, okay? So this hand is coming over. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this hand drape. My elbow's gonna be high, so my hand is low, and I'm cupping the underside of his tricep. Now I'm going to step in really deep, and I'm gonna thrust my hips, and I'm gonna turn my head. I'm gonna pull that off my head as I slide right behind Lawson here, okay? It's literally called a slide by because that's what we're doing. We're sliding by them. As I said Monday, it's kind of like this. If he's got me here, I'm going to take that. I'm going to turn my head, and my shoulder is going to start trying to push that off. And as it does that, I'm just popping it off. And then people want to go around. They want to start doing this thing where they're kind of ducking under. It is not a duck under. We're not ducking under. We are peeling this off. Another way to do this is to bump it. So some people say, look at your wristwatch. You're going to look at your wristwatch as you step and hop in. Notice it's being bumped off my head. I'm not ducking under. It's being bumped or pulled off my head. So two ways. One is over, one is under. Over, we're hooking the tricep. Okay, from this spot here, I'm just going to hold his arm and suddenly I step, and now I got his back. The other one is we're looking at the wristwatch. From here, boom, now we're here. Right up on top. Don't worry about the takedown yet, just get behind them. Do whatever you already know how to do, okay? 1, 2, 3.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Hope you got something out of that. If you did, please hit that like button, hit that notification button, add some comments, ask some questions, share the video. See you next time.